The first tip is to make sure that your Ledger Live app is always updated. There's so many different price feeds and other bits of information that need to be updated all the time in Ledger Live, and you're not going to get the best experience unless it's updated. In any case, it's this big orange bar. I need to go ahead and do it, so I'm going to install now, relaunch, and that's going to make sure that everything's working properly for me. Updating the Ledger Live app on your computer is completely different to updating the firmware on the Ledger hardware wallet. So to check this, go down to My Ledger, and then make sure your Ledger is plugged into the computer. And you might need to just wake up the device, put your PIN number in, and then allow a secure connection. So I'm going to accept that on the device. And then it's going to check if I need a firmware update and everything else. If you're having issues with Ledger in any way, just make sure all of this is updated first. You can see that I need to go ahead and update the firmware. So I can press that and actually update it. And then once that's done, you want to update all of these apps as well. These are different than the Ledger firmware. So go ahead and update these. You can see on the right-hand side, it says update all. If you've got any issues, just do all of this first. Now, 1,000,000%, before you update the firmware, make sure that you know your PIN number and also the seed phrase to your wallet. Make sure that's backed up and you have that somewhere, because Ledger say there is a small chance that when you update the firmware, it actually wipes the device. And you definitely don't want that. I've had it before where it's actually wiped all the apps away from the device, which is not a big deal. You can come and just reinstall them on the right-hand side here. So, no big deal. But if you come under the fact that it's wiped the device completely, and it looks like you don't have the device anymore, then that is a big issue if you don't have your seed phrase. So 1,000,000%, make sure your seed phrase is backed up first before you update anything. If that's backed up, it doesn't matter. You can literally just burn the device or anything else. You can just use that seed phrase to reload your wallet on any other device. So come and update everything if you've got any issues. If you want to receive crypto to one of the addresses associated with your Ledger, you don't need it connected to your computer, and you don't even need the Ledger device at all anywhere near you. This is also relevant if you have the app installed on your phone. You may have a Ledger Nano S or one of the other ones that doesn't have Bluetooth that you can connect to your phone. That doesn't matter. You just get the address and you can send crypto to it, because crypto is not on here. Your wallet addresses are not on here. They're on the blockchain. This is just a signing device. So go to accounts, and you should have accounts up here that you've used previously. And I'm going to choose Ethereum here. I'm going to press receive, and it says which account to credit. Ethereum is the one that I want. I'm going to press continue, and it says connect and unlock your device. Well, I don't have my device, so go down here and press do not have. Click this, and it's going to show you your wallet address. Now, this is the wallet address that was used and has been used in Ledger Live previously. The thing is that Ledger, as you can see here, they can't 100% confirm that this is the correct address of the one that you've set up in your Ledger. The reason being is that when you connect your device, it's going to connect and confirm 100% that the address is correct. However, you can pretty much know that, unless something really crazy has happened, this should be the normal address that you send assets to, right? This is the wallet address of this Ledger device that you've set up. So if you're not using any other Ledger devices, or you haven't got a really complicated setup, this is the wallet address that you use regularly, and you can just send crypto assets to it. You can press continue, you can copy it, paste it in your centralized exchange that you send assets from or whatever. It's not 100% confirmed, because they can't confirm it with your private key here, but it basically is the public address of your wallet. So you can use this for smaller amounts. If you're sending huge amounts, probably best to have the device and confirm it 100%, but you can receive assets into this wallet address, and you can verify that address if you want, but you have to connect this, right? That's 100% verification. If you don't have it, this is basically your wallet address that you should send assets to. And also in the app, if you don't need to connect your wallet to that, that's going to give you all of your addresses as well, so you can easily send assets to your Ledger device without actually having the physical device near you. The type of device that a Ledger is, we call a hardware wallet. However, that's kind of misleading. It should be kind of known as a hardware signing device. Your wallet and your coins are not on this thing. They're always on the blockchain. This thing is basically like a way to access an email account and send email, except it's money and crypto. So this is really containing a password or the private key to sign a transaction to send crypto out of the wallet. That's pretty much all it does. This thing also generates that private key and the recovery of it, which is the seed phrase, which is 12 to 24 words, offline, which is why we buy this thing, because we don't want any online attachment that could get hacked or anything else. So the important thing about this wallet is not this hardware device. This is completely irrelevant. You can burn it, you can chuck it away, it's irrelevant. The thing that really is important is the seed phrase that you get given. That is your wallet. and you have to be 1,000,000,000% sure that you're keeping it safe. If you lose that and you lose this device, all your money is gone forever. You will not ever get it back. If you lose this device and you have the seed phrase, doesn't matter. Just buy a different device. It's easy. So the seed phrase is your wallet. It is your money. And that is the thing you need to keep ultra safe. So a lot of people write this down. They laminate it. Or like Ledger sells, if you're going to buy a hardware wallet, the seed phrase is even more important than that. Ledger on their site sell these kind of steel cards and other types of device where your seed phrase, which is 12 to 24 words, you basically write it down in steel. And so that's going to prevent, flooding or burn risk or anything else. And of course, you have to keep this safe now. So this has to be kept safe somewhere. These cards are like this big, like a credit card, maybe a little bit bigger and thicker, obviously heavier because they're steel. There's a few ways to do this differently, but essentially get the seed phrase, etch it down somewhere. That is the thing that you need to be keeping safe. The problem with hardware wallets, because nothing is perfect, is that if someone steals that seed phrase from you, they have all your money. And so the seed phrase is like super important, and a lot of people either hide it or put it in a bank vault or something like that. And the small cost, if they're saving lots in crypto, is worth it. So everyone's got different ways of doing this. If you have small amounts of crypto, maybe not worth it. If you've got larger amounts, really think about this, because this is up to you and it's all on you. You are the risk here of losing it, not doing it correctly, or getting it stolen. But this is one of the ways, if you've got a bit more crypto, to actually keep that seed phrase ultra safe and etch it into steel. There's two other types of passwords or PIN numbers that we can look at as well. The first one is the app lock on Ledger Live. So if you go to the settings in the top right, down here it says password lock. This is just an app lock for this device on your computer. So if you have a shared computer or something and there's no password lock on here, someone can open the Ledger Live app and they can see all of your balances. Now, they can't manipulate anything if they don't have your Ledger device plugged in, but they can see your balances and everything like that. So if you're in a public setting or a shared computer, you may want to put a password lock on your Ledger Live app just so no one can actually get into the app in the first place. This doesn't matter if you lose it or anything or forget it. You can just delete the Ledger Live app, reload it, and then when you plug your Ledger Live in, it's just going to reload all the balances from your wallets. But this is an app lock specifically. The other thing is this PIN number. The Ledger PIN numbers reset your device after 3 failed attempts. And so what you can do is go to the settings of your Ledger device. So click both of the buttons, or however you get into your Ledger, click those down for a few seconds. It goes to settings. From there, you go to security, click that, and it says change PIN. You can change the PIN as you want and set the PIN as you want. If you forget it 3 times, your entire Ledger device is wiped. And that's important if you haven't got the seed phrase, because I saw a story online where someone lost his seed phrase somehow, and he wiped his Ledger device with 3 incorrect pins, and basically all his money's gone forever. No one can get it back. So if you are unaware of your PIN, or you're a bit cloudy on it, or you have 2 failed attempts, do not attempt it again until you're 100% sure that your seed phrase is super good somewhere and you know it's clear and you can refresh it, no problem. Because if it does reset, it's no problem if you've got your seed phrase, just reload your seed phrase back in. But if 2 of those things are gone, if you reset your device and your seed phrase isn't perfect for some reason, it's a big problem. So just make sure everything is, in the right way. And like I said, the seed phrase is the number 1. Another problem people encounter a lot is not being able to see the tokens that they've sent into their wallet within Ledger Live. Go to accounts. I'm going to go to Ethereum here and then scroll down a little bit. You can see I've got different tokens on this blockchain. But a lot of people say, I sent some assets into my wallet and I just can't see them. Like, have they disappeared? So Ledger Live is just a software browser for the blockchain. And they rely on a lot of APIs and other blockchain feeds. And to be honest, they're usually pretty slow. And a lot of these smaller types of assets, they don't actually refresh them and support them. So you can't see them in Ledger Live, but that doesn't mean that it's not in your wallet. To check with 100% accuracy of what your wallet actually holds, go to the blockchain explorer of the blockchain that you're using. If you're using Ethereum, that's Etherscan. Every blockchain has its own explorer. You can go and find the one. Then get your Ledger wallet address that you sent the coins to and paste it in the blockchain explorer right here. Press search and it's going to tell you the wallet and everything associated with it. It's going to give you every single transaction. It's going to give you every single asset in there, and you can see it all there. As long as it's there, that means the wallet holds the asset that you sent to your wallet. It's just that it's not available in Ledger Live because it's just getting the APIs and the different feeds from the blockchains, and it hasn't refreshed it, or it just doesn't support that asset. It doesn't mean that it's not in your wallet. It just means that Ledger Live can't show it. 100% accuracy is a blockchain explorer. Go to there, you'll see all of your assets, and you'll have peace of mind that the assets are actually in your wallet. Ledger Live is just an interface, like a browser. Think of it as a Chrome browser, and it has a certain set of features, but it might not have everything you need. So what people do if they want to use a dApp that isn't supported within Ledger Live, you can go down to the apps in Ledger Live, and there are many supported, but there aren't many that aren't. So if you want to use a dApp that isn't supported within Ledger Live, what you have to do is connect your Ledger to a different type of interface, usually a hot wallet, MetaMask and Rabby or Phantom or one of the other wallets that you can interact with the blockchain through. So the main thing here is never, ever, ever load your seed phrase or your private key from your Ledger device into a hot wallet. Then you turn your hardware wallet into a hot wallet. And so that's not good. You've basically made this, a very expensive waste of time because you've taken the offline aspects and put it online. So what we can do is connect the Ledger to a hot wallet, and then through the hot wallet, we can connect to any dApp through our Chrome browser, and we still sign transactions on this Ledger device. So you can see my Rabby, I've got a hot wallet here, and I've got a Ledger device connected. The Ledger is connected, and this wallet here is reading my address on the blockchain. This is actually much better. If you have coins that aren't selected in Ledger Live, like you can't see them, you will be able to see them in a hot wallet. They have much better APIs and feeds. So click on this, and you can just see your balances, and that's great. And it's basically just reading the blockchain for all your balances, and your hardware device still has the key. So it's not like loading your hardware device in here at all. You can see my ledgers connected. What you can do is add the address. So go to current addresses or however you do it in your wallet, and then go to add a new wallet into the hot wallet like this. Now, this is slightly different for different wallets. I'll leave all the hot wallet tutorial videos down in the description so you can see how to connect your Ledger device. But basically, you want to connect this one here. Connect hardware wallets, and then it says which one do you want to connect. Ledger, have it plugged in, open the PIN number, and it's going to connect. Now, that's not the same as loading your seed phrase in the wallet. You are just connecting to it. So it's basically just reading the public address and then saying, hey, this public address is your Ledger, here are all the coins. You cannot control coins from your Ledger through this hot wallet unless you have the Ledger device plugged in and you physically sign transactions on this device. That gives you the strength of having the hardware wallet. You connect to the wallet and do not load the seed phrase in. So that's how you connect, and you can read all your balances. And if you want to sign transactions from this Ledger, you can do as well, but you're signing from this device and not the hot wallet. Never ever load your seed phrase into here because then you've turned the hardware wallet into a hot wallet. We can add multiple accounts within Ledger Live and view them all separately. So when you add an app to your Ledger Live device, you essentially add the app and then you can add an account. That's a wallet address, right? So think of the Ledger device as a bank, and you go to a bank, but within your bank, you have multiple accounts. You have a checking, you have a savings, maybe long-term savings. That's 3 different accounts with different IBANs or routing numbers, but they're all at the same bank. Well, that's what this is. So this one seed phrase and private key that you've got here is a bank. But within that, you can have multiple bank accounts. So you can create these. So I've got one here. When you add an app and add a blockchain, you add an account, and that's your number one account, and that's your number one address. But you can add 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different accounts. They all have different wallet addresses, and they'll be treated as separate accounts with separate addresses and separate balances. But you control them all with this same device and this same seed phrase and private key. So go to your accounts, press add account. Where do you want to add the account? I'm going to choose Ethereum. I'm going to press continue. It wants to connect my device. Connect your device, see the accounts, and press confirm. What you're doing is just revealing the second address. When you create an account and the seed phrase, all of these addresses are created at the same time. You have loads of them, right? They're just not visible because you're not using them and you haven't added them to Ledger Live. But you can create 2, 3, 4, 5, all with different wallet addresses, but they are all controlled by this. And so what you can do is name them savings, checking, etc. as you want. But that happens across all smart contract chains and Bitcoin as well. You can get multiple different addresses. Also, when you're sending to Bitcoin addresses, you may see that each time you deposit to Bitcoin, so you go in, You press deposit here or receive, and you'll put your ledger device in, and it will show you that the address that you're sending to is different than the address that you sent to last time. That is okay. This is a privacy feature. So with Bitcoin, the privacy feature is to actually create a brand new address each and every time. And so the address is different, and that means it's slightly more private because no one can just see that all these assets are going to this address and then linking loads of different addresses to that address. So it's going to create a brand new address for you each and every time to send Bitcoin to. However, all your previous addresses also work. So if you're using the same address each and every time, no problem. It's going to get to your account and you'll see it there. But you can create brand new addresses every single time you send and receive assets in for some slight privacy advantages. So that's how accounts and addresses work within Ledger Live. When we download the app of a blockchain on Ledger and then create an account for the first time, it actually creates all the wallet addresses that can be associated with our private key. And what we can do is actually delete that account from Ledger Live, but it does not delete it from the blockchain. When you create an account and a wallet address, that's going to be on the blockchain forever, and you can't delete it. And all of the assets in that wallet address are going to be there, and you can manipulate them as long as you've got the private key. So we can delete these accounts from Ledger Live. I'm going to right click here, edit account, and then remove from portfolio. That removes this account and any information associated with it from Ledger Live. But the actual account, the wallet address, and the assets in there are still on the blockchain and cannot be deleted. So what we can do is bring it back. If you go to add account, then I deleted the Cardano one. So come and find Cardano wherever it is. You can press this, go through to continue, sign it on the device, add the account. What that's going to do is just bring back that account associated with this private key. And you've set that up already, and you have access to it because you have the private key. It's going to reload that wallet address. And so you can just bring it back. It's going to see, show you all of the assets in there, the same wallet address. And you can do that again and again. So like I said, on Ethereum or any of the other chains, you can have address 1, 2, 3, 4. That's all your accounts. You can delete them and then you can bring them back. As long as you've got the private key, they never get deleted from the blockchain. This is just an interface where you can delete or bring them back as you want. Another major problem that people have is spam or scam tokens that get sent into your wallet. This happens a lot on cheaper blockchains. You can see on this blockchain right here, I've got a bunch of NFTs that were sent to me. These are nothing to do with me. They're basically either scams or spam NFTs where they have like an advert on them for some gambling site or something like that. It's best to just completely ignore these. Don't interact with them. Don't try and send them out of the wallet or anything like that. Just leave them there. They're going to be spam. You can't actually get rid of these in Ledger Live on your computer. However, on Ledger Live on your app, I believe you can hide these as well. So just hide them from the wallet. They're going to be in there, but they're just spam. Don't interact with them because you don't know what's going to happen if you do. So just leave them, and it's just unfortunately something's going to happen. Just like you get spam email, you're going to get some scam NFTs as well. It is possible to have multiple different wallet devices all within Ledger Live. So maybe you have 2 devices. You can just plug the device into your computer. Ledger Live is going to read the wallet, read the addresses and read the balances and show you on here. The only problem comes when you have 2 different devices. So for example, let's say I've got Ethereum with device 1 and I've got device 2 plugged in. Well, I can view the balance here and I can go to send assets out, but it's going to say, no, there's an error and you can't sign the transaction. It's because you're looking at Ethereum for device 1, but you've got device 2 plugged in. Different seed phrases, different private keys won't be able to sign the transaction. So just make sure you've got the right device in for the account that you're looking at. Also, technically, it is possible to actually have 2 completely separate wallets with different seed phrases and different private keys, all managed from one device. So what you can do is load your ledger, you get the private key and the seed phrase and you keep that safe. Then you wipe the ledger. Remember, your seed phrase and private key is still there, but you can just create another wallet, a fresh wallet with this ledger device with a different private key and a different seed phrase. So basically that's 2 completely separate wallets, but managed all through one device. Unfortunately, you can't do that at the same time. You can only load one wallet at a time. So you'd have to wipe the device for device 1, and then wallet 2, you can load it back onto the same device. I wouldn't recommend it though, right? You might have an error and you don't want that happening. For the cost of a ledger, just keep one wallet to one device. I think that's probably the safe thing. I'll leave the ledger link below. They often give discounts in certain times of the year and for those steel seed phrases as well, and some other helpful links on managing wallets and everything else down in the description. I'm James, this is Mazzy G. Cheers for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.